Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. On one of my many trips to Google Images, I found this vintage scale that I absolutely loved. And I'm going to put my spin on how to recreate this using Dollar Tree items. You don't want to miss this, guys. Stay tuned. So we're going to use some apple barrel paint and some coal. The apple barrel's in blue and lime green. We're going to use a dollhouse dresser, 5 beads, and I printed that off of the picture I showed you at the beginning, and a cake pan in a basket. I found this image I told you on Google Images. You can just Google vintage scales and you should be able to find it. And I made the picture bigger. I did 1,000 by 612 so that I could have the scale part of the picture bigger to put on my basket. So I'm just outlining it on some foam board. I outlined it bigger than I needed because I knew it would give you some wiggle room. I'm going to score it with an X-Acto blade and then lift up on the foam board and come back in and cut where I scored. Scoring it just makes it easier so you have less mistakes and your blade doesn't move on you. It pops out real easy, and it actually was almost the perfect fit. So using sandpaper, because don't I use sandpaper on every project, I actually sanded down the foam board and voila, it fit perfectly. So now we're gonna start painting. I mixed paints together because I didn't have the color quite. Well, I didn't have the color that matched the picture. So I mixed all of the blue and the green and the white together until I got a color semi-close, not quite, but I liked it. And then I just started messy painting. And you get it all over your hands. Just wash your hands. It's fine. It's fun to get messy sometimes. And I put it on everything. Front, back, side, I coated everything. The basket and the cake pan, I ended up doing 3 coats. I am going to be distressing this, but I wanted to pick where I distressed it. I didn't want to leave any black on the basket. So just take your brush, go over it, and you can actually take your brush and poke into the holes and just get messy. It's fun. It actually covered pretty good. Now granted, yes, if I would have had this color in spray paint, that would have been the easier route to go. But I don't always do things the easy way. And this worked out fine, and I didn't have spray paint to do this, so you can always do that. Using some Mod Podge on the back of that scale printout, I put a generous coat of Mod Podge and then I attached it to the foam board that I had painted. I painted the foam board because I wasn't going to make that mistake again in this video. And I knew putting it on a mesh basket, you could probably see it from the back. And I wanted to make sure at any angle, all you were seeing was teal. Now using those beads, I'm going to add some hot glue to the corner. The beads fit perfectly into the corner. They're not on top of the basket. They actually sit into each corner. Once you have them secured, you can then add some more hot glue around the edges. Don't worry about it dripping. Don't worry about excess because once it dries, it's easily peeled away. And if it should take off some of the paint, either chalk that up as your distressed look or paint it a little bit again. So flip that basket over. And you can see it lines up with the edge of the basket and just start adding hot glue. You're probably going to go through about 2 glue sticks on this project because it isn't easy to attach things to a mesh basket. It is possible though. Using some popsicle sticks on the back, I added the hot glue and then I added a popsicle stick for added security, and then I just painted over it in that teal color to match. Now taking this adorable little table, dollhouse table, put it on top of your basket, making sure that the drawers and the knobs face the back of your scale. That way you don't see them. And we're going to do the same thing as we did with the other side. We're going to add hot glue and some popsicle sticks for security. As you could see, when I flipped it over, it didn't move. Now I am adding some E6000 to the table legs because I don't want the top to fall off. I'm not going to put anything too heavy on this, but just in case. So add some E6000, then flip it over gently, so that, because E6000 doesn't adhere quickly, so be careful flipping it over, and just start adding hot glue around those table legs. Yes, it is a lot, but I wanted to make sure this didn't fall off while the E6000 was drying. And again, being careful again, flip it over, and it actually stayed pretty good. Here's a little tip. You saw how much paint I mixed. I mixed way too much, but I did not want to have to try to match this color by mixing it again. So I'll save some of my empty paint bottles, and you can just use a funnel. These come 3 for $1 at Dollar Tree, and fill up one of your old paint bottles. Then add the paint to the lid so you know what color it is, and there you go. No waste, no mess, and the funnel cleans up perfect. So now you are going to add this little knob to the front. That's your 5th bead. You use 4 on the legs, and now you're going to add the knob to the front. Using makeup applicators, I dipped it in the kohl paint, and I start distressing this. Just adding some paint around the top, and I put a few marks here and there on the cake pan. And then I also added paint around the table and around the basket. Now this is where I said at the beginning, when you're painting the basket, if you should leave some black showing, that's okay, because you're going to be coming back in and putting black on top of it anyway. But I just wanted to be able to pick and choose where I put it, and that's why I tried to get as much coverage on that basket as possible. I think this coming back and doing this step adds the vintage, older look, and it makes it super cute. You want to go all around, even the back, and you want to do the bottom too. And I even flipped it, well, not flipped it, but turned it to the underside so that I could distress underneath as well. I just wanted it all to match. Being very, very careful. Try to maybe outline the scale face in the black as well. It will tie it all in together. Be extremely careful, as I said, because one little slip up and you'll be printing this over and adding it again. So you don't want a lot, but I think adding the black around the face of the scale really ties it all in. And this is a personal preference of how much black you actually add to this. I came back and poured a little bit more out. I just wanted to do the corners a little bit more and just add a little bit. Like I said, it really ties it together and really makes your scale more vintage looking. These makeup applicators are the perfect way to do this, and it doesn't take a lot. I dipped my applicator in the paint, and then I would dab it just to make sure I wasn't putting too much, especially around the scale face, because I was so afraid of ruining it. And there you have it. It's not exactly what the picture was, but like I said at the beginning, this was my version of it. I love this. I love the color. I think adding some spring decor in this for Easter would be perfect. Or you could even put cupcakes or candy on it. I think it's super cute, and I was so excited to be able to semi-replicate this using Dollar Tree items. There's the picture I showed you at the beginning of this video, and here's mine. So cute. It really wasn't that hard to make. I actually had the cheese and the cream redone to show you to match the picture. But I really, really like this scale, and I hope you do too. If you decide to make one of these for yourself and you have an Instagram account, please share your picture with me at Kelly's Creations on Instagram. And if you don't have an Instagram account and you decide to make this scale, Please email me a picture at kellyscreations18@yahoo.com, and I would love to feature it in my next video to show everybody your creation. So I hope you liked this video. I had so much fun making it for you. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Ring that bell for future notifications. And as always, I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. And I'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all.